Hello there. You are onto the Man to Man Session podcast. We raise kings to embrace their masculinity and amplify their influence in the society. Welcome. The Man to Man Session podcast is about to begin.
Hello everyone, it's good to be back here. I trust that you guys enjoyed the session by the session by NK Omo. Yeah, he will be back here soon. You know, it's amazing that when he was taking that session, he was doing it as you know, he probably did not know that that was his last session as a single man, and he was transitioning into the life of a married man. Yeah, so he's getting married next week, and I'm so happy for him. Yeah. So eventually, when that young man is back from honeymoon, he'll be joining us. I know it's so amazing because he's getting married at a very very wonderful period. Getting married at a period where we are preparing for our personal development and relationship series, which is how I met my wife. Yeah, so we will be having amazing guest speakers on the show. This is the second chapter of how I met my wife. So in case you missed chapter one, I would crave your indulgence to go back to our previous podcast episodes and catch a glimpse of how I met my wife season one. So um you know when I was preparing, not really preparing for this, but when I was a bit thinking and writing down some and scripting down as I was sharing with you guys. You know, and I really want to lead off here because the truth is coming up here every day, every week, you know, to speak to you guys. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, especially when I can't just come up here and talk about just anything. I've seen the numbers, I've seen what you guys want to hear. I've seen that majority of the men behind the seats listening to M2M session. You guys want that freedom, want that escapism, want to break out of addiction to pornography and masturbation. And trust me, right? Trust me when I say this. Yeah, even though I am an ex addict, it is one topic that is usually hard for me to bring myself to talk about. Yeah, but it is not easy to talk about something that you struggled for years. It's not easy to try to help other people come out from it. It's really not. So I just try my best to find myself growing and keep on going because of you guys. So after I met my wife sometime this year, probably that would be a wrap up from here. We will eventually have one or 2 day session where we help those who are currently struggling with addiction, to overcome it. If you guys do the same thing that helps us overcome addiction to pornography and masturbation, it will be like a good now. Yeah. So let's run into what we have, or rather why I am here today. On versus love. Really. On versus love. Hmm. Right. So first of all, let me start by saying that whatever you do consistently, right, is who you will eventually become. Yeah. The consistent action you take over time will result to the outcome of your life, your personality, your character, your habits. So imagine someone who has a tendency to be fat and eats every day. Someone will become fat. Someone who doesn't eat every day becomes. So the whole essence of this is that whatever you do, it's more about who you are becoming in the process rather than what you are doing. What you are doing is not important as who you are becoming, because when you do something consistently, it will influence who you become. That's the truth. So imagine you have a girlfriend and she calls you a lover because you love her, right? And then she finds out that you watch porn, and then she starts calling you. Not just the fact that you watch porn, but because you want her to do what the porn is to do. She will start calling you a porn star. I mean, really, who would I want to be called a porn star? Yeah. But you see, that's what most of us will do, right? And we've not been informed, we've not been schooled, we've not been told that constant exposure to porn turns you into what you watch. And that is the sad truth, right? Because you see, number one, which is one of the most important things you need to understand about the danger of porn, is that, first of all, porn distorts the idea of love making, and it fractures the concept of sex. Yeah. So the idea of love making, more than this, it really distorts what you know about love making. So I can tell you that 70 to 85% of the young men who don't give themselves to foreplay, I mean young men who are married, because you may not be aware that it is possible for you to be like, see, marriage is not an escape out of sin, but it's possible for you to even be addicted to marriage. Yeah. In the last session that we had, which was no sex, no alcohol challenge, where we had a lot of guys who came in to help on addiction. We had married men. Eye opener. That was where like an eye opener for me. So amen. It continues staying with one. Idea of love making stop it because the more you try to engage, you know, from kissing, if your wife is not, if your wife is not that in you, or you are more domineering, you will eventually take over and you only do what you want to do that moment. You won't pay attention to foreplay. You won't pay attention to anything that she wants that will make her happy in that process. All you be talking about is kiss, love, for idol. Alright. Now the second thing you need to understand about porn is that porn plants in your heart the pleasure for the action over the passion for the person. Porn plants in your heart pleasure for the action or passion for the person. So you eventually realize that over time, and over your continuous consumption of porn, you begin to lose passion for your partner. Because if she doesn't do it like what you want, right? Because you will gradually make, or rather, the pleasure for the action of sex based on what you see while watching porn will gradually make you feel dissatisfied with sex if your partner isn't doing it like what you want. So you unknown to you that you have become the porn that you watch. And you have an unreal expectation for your partner to also play that role because you are unconsciously playing the role of who you watch. So now you want to replicate every single thing that you saw while watching porn, and maybe she just can't give that to you. Right? You barely lose passion for your partner because you feel like not delivering. And not just that, not just that, porn, the attention that you keep giving to porn unknown to you, you have already reduced the amount of attention that you are giving to your partner. So now that you're paying more attention to porn, you are gone aware that you are paying less attention to your partner and your passion for her is gradually dwindling. Yes, so eventually you can eventually figure out now why most men, this is one reason why some men cheat. Because of constant exposure to porn and they get to that level where they are not satisfied with just one partner. Because you see, when you watch porn, when you see the action, you buy into the idea of threesome and you want to do that. You feel it is okay to do that. You buy into the idea of, oh, your partner must give you a blowjob. You buy into the idea of, oh, your partner must do it this way. You buy into the idea of, oh, you want to do it this way. And you get to forget that at the end of the day, you are not marrying yourself. Or you're not in a relationship with yourself. You are not in love with yourself. You are in love with an entirely different person. So you have to love that person the way that the person wants to be loved, not forgetting that that person also has to love you the way that you want. But see what porn does? Porn changes your perspective and doesn't allow you to pay attention to the way that the person wants to be loved. So you are only focused on loving the person the way that you want to love the person. And to just end up being just about you. Yeah. And you know, hardly, hardly is it possible that after watching porn, you will not masturbate. Hardly. Maybe you're not aware of the damage that sex toys, right, and masturbation, right, is doing to some homes. Because you see, in as much as you may be sold the idea that oh, it facilitates sex and all, you are unaware that you have gradually replaced your partner. Yeah. So in your mind you feel like oh you don't want to cheat, so you want to use sex toy. You don't want her to cheat, yeah, use sex toy. But you don't want to cheat, you want to masturbate. I wish it was as easy as it sounded that you would only masturbate or use sex toy in the absence of your partner. Because you see, you would gradually grow attached to that, and even in the presence of your partner, you will masturbate, you will use sex toy. Why? Because you have gradually paid attention to it more than to her. Yeah. So while there are several things you can do in this situation, right, to rekindle the love that you have probably, you know, hampered because of porn. The first and most important thing you should do when you get to the point where you realize that porn is gradually replacing the love in your life. Because you see, the truth is, the moment you start noticing how less you enjoy sex with your partner, you need to find out why. Yes. Oh, porn will definitely contribute to it. And I'm sorry to say, your relationship with your children will also get affected by porn. Don't worry. There are more things to share with you guys. But just know this, right? That the first thing you should do when you notice that everything I've shared sounds like you is stop feeling guilty. By stop feeling guilty, I mean you need to own up and you need to admit to yourself that yes, this is really happening. Admit to yourself that yes, you are addicted to porn. Don't be in denial. Don't be in denial. Admit it. Admit to yourself that you have something, that this has become an issue. Because if you don't see it as an issue, you are far from getting help. The second thing you need to do is you need to reach out for help. Nobody will help you until you reach out for help. You can be listening to this podcast session since I started talking, and you may be feeling like, AI, have tried doing everything you've done. It's not working. I've done this one. It's not working. Are you sure it is real? What about this? Bro, I'll tell you point blank. If you don't reach out for help, you can't be helped. See, but this is real life. This actually happened in the last um, boot camp that we had last year. So there were lots of young men in that boot camp. And the people, just, you needed to see the feedbacks that I was getting. I was almost too happy that everybody were getting help. But I wasn't tricked. Everybody were like, thank you. It is working, it is helping, it is helping. In the midst of that, there were still some people who were not getting help. Even in the midst of that, there were people who were saying, yes, it is working. So there's usually a feedback after the feedback process, towards the end of the boot camp and 2 weeks later, we usually follow up every participant. So based on the feedback that we received, right, after 2 weeks, we followed up every single participant. And I wasn't surprised when I heard some people telling me that few days after the boot camp, they started watching porn again. They got back into doing what they said they will not do. In fact, some of them were even watching porn during the boot camp. No. See, listen to me. I wasn't sad. I wasn't disappointed. Because the next thing I did, I asked them further questions. And in the further questions that I asked, now showed them, not me. Because I told every single person from day one, you need to be vulnerable, and that is the next thing you need to do. That's the third thing you need to do after reaching out for help. Because it is not enough to reach out for help. And when you reach out for help, you need to be vulnerable. You need to come clean. You don't hide anything. Don't hide anything and think that, oh, okay. See, you are not the one to determine how you want to get help after you reach out for help. No. You be open up and see, oh, this is and this and this and this and this are the things I have been doing. Because one of the things that we try to find out from everyone, every person was, we give everyone an assignment and we ask them, okay, what do you think, or what are the things that you did before you got addicted to porn? That required an honest answer, but not everybody made themselves to be vulnerable enough to open up. And for that reason, because they hid some things, we were unable to tackle the roots of their addiction. See, everybody who started by watching porn and got addicted to porn did not get addicted to porn because they watch porn. No. Oh, in case you're not aware, no now. The porn is an effect of a cause. You know the principle of cause and effect? Porn addiction is just an effect. There is a cause. There is something that led you to watching porn. You've heard my story already. For me, what led me to watching porn was that I was molested when I was young. And from being molested when I was young, I was then exposed because there was this craving. There was already this desire in me to want to have sex at a very young age. And I proceeded to have sex. And I got exposed to watching porn. So imagine if I did not trace it back to that very incident of being molested. Some people are addicted to porn because of an event or series of events that happened in their lives. So most persons who after the boot camp did not get free from addiction to porn is because they were still hiding some events that led them. And we got to find out during the follow-ups period. Because at that point, most of them were like, they were upset that it is not working. Most of them were tired. And it was just one question that we asked them. We asked them, the things that you mentioned to us, apart from these things, are there any other things that led to you being addicted to porn? That was the second time we were, or rather the third time we were asking that question. And I can tell you, for most of them, they still did not provide all the answers. In fact, there was one young man that I had to keep on following him up until he was even able to. So it was like every single week when I call him, there were new things to share. There were new things. See, that was why the boot camp was 30 days. Because I know my gender, I know how we react. It's not easy for us to be vulnerable and share these things. I'll be very, very sincere with you because it's not enough for me to just come and say be vulnerable. I know how hard it takes. I know the courage it takes for us to get to the point of vulnerability. So therefore, that is why in the next boot camp that we will be having, it won't be a 30 days. Because from these learnings that we've taken, it won't be a 30 days boot camp. We would want everybody to have that longevity of that longevity to get to the point where they feel comfortable enough to trust and to be vulnerable. So it won't be a 30 days. Probably it will definitely be longer. Because I mean it took you more than 30 days to get addicted to porn. It will definitely take you more than 30 days to break the habit of porn and to break the addiction of porn. So it might be 60 days, it might be 90 days, whatever it may be, you need to get on the train if you want to get help. So after being vulnerable, now the question is, if you are married, who should you be vulnerable to? You don't want to be vulnerable to someone of the opposite sex. No, you don't. Now you don't even you see it. Your wife is not even the person that you should be vulnerable to at that point because it will break her. That's the truth. It would. Oh, there is a point where you would eventually open up to your wife, to your partner, but not at that stage where you are vulnerable because the truth is she may not be able to help you. But remember, there are stages to this addiction. If you are in your first stage, if you don't know about the different stages of addiction, you should go back and listen to the episode on how to conquer porn and addiction, right? Or every other previous episode, right? We took our time to list out the various stages of addiction. I think we should start a blog. Yeah. I think we should start a blog and drop content from our previous episodes, right, to make it easy for you guys to search. Yeah, that's a nice one. We would eventually do that sometime, probably before the end of this year. Yeah. So, your partner is not the person you should be vulnerable to. You should find someone you can trust, not someone on the same level with you, but someone who understands. And I know that those people are not easy to find. And those are one of the things that we do in the bootcamp. We provide you with people that you can be vulnerable to, people that you can talk to, people who have gone through porn addiction. So yeah, choose love over porn. Please. choose love over porn. Porn is lost, so choose love over lust. So till I come your way again next time. Cheers.